Hey there, YouTube. This is Aisha, and this is going to be a review for Not If I See You First by Eric Lindenstrom. And this is an arc I received from BEA Book Expo 2015. Um, and this is coming out from Hachette Book Group this month in December. I actually read this during the BEA. So this book comes out in December 2015, and I read this during BEA, and I absolutely loved it. This book says everyone has secrets, everyone is a secret. And it suggests for people who love Gail Foreman and Matthew Quick. But I like neither of those people, and I absolutely love this story. This is told from the perspective of a young woman who is blind. And this is her navigating the trials and tribulations of high school and young emotions and young love. This is not a story about love and romance. It is a story about love, but not about romance. And this, I cried reading this book, and I was like, oh my god, this is so true reading this book. I think I've mentioned before that I have keratoconus, and I'll leave a link down below to my video talking about it, and how it affects my reading life, and how it affects my personal life, just period. But keratoconus is for most people a diagnosis that leads to blindness. So reading a book where the main character, is blind and navigating her world, and just seeing how she did it was amazing to read. You know, people talk about diverse books and needing diverse characters and characters that are of color and characters that are of different cultures. People sometimes forget that being diverse also means having characters with disabilities. Um, and I'm a girl, a African American girl I'm a Jamaican American girl with a disability, and reading a book about a character with a disability that is very similar to mine is very, very eye opening, which is haha funny because I'm talking about a blind girl. This book made me cry quite a bit. This book really is about friendship, and this young lady is a orphan, and she loses her family in like pretty brutal ways. And you see her attempt to navigate the world without the two major rudders that have kept her being her. And you never consider the concept of what happens when a person used to be able to see and is now the world has gone dark. Having to relearn everything, and learning to let go of the things that kind of make you you. And people don't you don't realize how much conversation takes place with facial expressions and eyesight. Like my sister and I the other day were talking, and we weren't able to talk quite about as much as we wanted to, and we were using our eyes to like talk about a person, and we just kept looking at each other, looking at the person, and letting each other know, like, and rolling our eyes and things like that. You never realize how many people can't see that. So this is about navigating the world as a blind person, and I'm hoping that when the book comes out in physical form, that it will have braille on the cover, like the way it is now. Also, the chapter headings, it has it in braille, and I'm kind of hoping it does that. She's quirky, she's funny, she's witty. She has a great network of friends. Um, After her family passes away, her aunt, who she doesn't really know, and her cousins, who she doesn't really know, they move in with her to help keep her from having to move to a whole nother state, another town, another school, and have to learn everything over. Because I've thought about it, and I know about it, that walking, you count steps, and you have to learn directions by where you've been and where you are. Um, you know, she was fiercely independent, and I loved reading how she navigated the world, like going through school. She has a companion in school who will help her with homework, like math homework, because math is not a subject that Math is not a subject that you can really do without seeing. Like there's too many things that have to be seen to make math easy. So like you know, there's a scene in there where she learns to navigate without her companion. Her companion is out sick, and you realize how much of her life, even though she doesn't realize it, she relies on people to really be kind to her. And she talks about the fact that she goes through life with the hope that people are not jerks, because it would only take one person to ruin her. Like one person to say, yes, that's, that is really something you can eat, and it's not. Or, you know, and people will take advantage. I'm pretty sure in the movie Ray, there was a scene where the guy was counting out the money for Ray. He was paying Ray, but he was counting singles instead of the $20 bills that he was supposed to be counting. And it took another person who was very honest to say that's not the right amount. So they had to come up with a system that Ray could know he was not being cheated when he was being paid. You never consider that. Like, I know I have someone that I've met who's blind, and he folds his bills in a certain way to let him know how the bills are. And like his wife double checks them to make sure before he leaves, to make sure no one has like shortchanged them. And then she talks about that in here, like how does she shop? And there's little things that I took for granted, things that I never thought about. What will happen when I lose my sight? Reading this and realizing there's so many things. So many things I'm going to lose out. There's so many things that will be different. Like watching an anime or watching a movie. It's very different because it has to be described completely. I kind of understand now why I hate audiobooks. Because audiobooks to me feel like I'm giving in to that part and admitting, even though it's not, like people read audiobooks and they don't have vision problems. She talks about it because audiobooks take time for her, because to read and comprehend, you know what I mean? There's just so many things that this book made me think about, and there's so many moments and relationships and conversations that happened that you had to understand. It was just brilliantly written. And the funny thing is, this is a debut author. When I was reading this, I didn't feel like it was a guy writing from a girl's perspective. It felt like a young woman telling her story. It felt like a young woman dealing with a disability telling her story about her quabbles with friends and her feelings of sometimes feeling inadequate, and her fear of being taken advantage of, because that's a huge fear. Her desperate desire to be seen as normal. Her need to train the people who are now living in her home to understand you can't just move the couch without letting her know, you know what I mean? Like, her desire to be independent and realizing that independence, even normal people rely on others. She has some really good friends in here. Sarah is a wonderful friend. Faith, Molly, even Scott and Jason and DB are really good friends of hers, and I really enjoyed seeing that dynamic. And it not being just catty girls who were popular, but really good friends. And even encouraging teachers. It's just a wonderful story. As I said, it didn't feel like a debut author's novel. It didn't feel like a man writing from a young girl's perspective. It really felt genuine. It felt like a young woman's voice. Her fears, her phobias, things that she thought about. I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I've thought about it. Oh my God, I've thought about it. Oh my God, I've thought about it. Like, it was very genuine and very real and very raw. And it made me cry quite a few times. It's making me cry now, and I'm doing just a review. I read this in 2 days. mostly because I was reading it when I was not on the showroom floor, and then I came home and I just read it, finished reading it. It was wonderfully written, and I just blew through it really quickly. And the ending was perfect for the story. It just beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. I can't say enough about it. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I really want you to pick it up and read it. It'll be one of the best books you've read. It's one of the best books I've read all year. Um, Not just because she has a disability, but because she's such a complex young woman, and she comes to the realization that human beings can't just be one thing. And I absolutely love it. It's wonderful. So, Not If I See You First by Eric Lindstrom, one of my favorite books of the year. I give it 5 stars. I think it's wonderful. I think everyone should read it, and it's wonderfully written. Let me know in the comments section if you've read this, or if you heard about this, or if you're interested. I think I might do a giveaway for this. I'll let you know. It'll be on the blog. I'll link it down below. I think I will do a giveaway for this when it comes out. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Good luck to all those who entered. Bye!